the quick and easiest way to do it, and the best way without dying and avoiding all the mechanics. Hello everyone, Punisher with Guardians of Galaxies here today to show you Kortifex, the boss fight at the end of the Archon Easter egg. I'll be showing you the quickest and easiest way to do this fight, and the best way without dying, and to get through it as fast as possible. Which there are some mechanics that you have to do, but the biggest mechanic is to avoid the red orbs that get thrown down on you. If they hit you instantly, they could instantly kill you. And they follow you around the map, so you have to avoid them as much as possible and pay attention to detail and keep an eye out for them as you're shooting the boss. They don't show up on the map either, so there's 3 phases to this fight. He has technically 3 eyes. One's not really an eye, but I like to call it the third eye. But you'll start off, on phase 1 just working on taking out his forehead, and then next 2 phases will be about his eyes. The fight's a little different from phase to phase, but the last 2 phases are a little different mechanics, but they're not that hard. It's best you go in with the shield, of course. I wouldn't go in without it, definitely. And either an epic or legendary weapon. And if you prefer some toys, and also prefer to bring some extra credits and salvage in case you do go down for some reason. It's not hard to get instantly killed by one of those orbs. It's hard to tell where he's going to throw them sometimes. Sometimes you can guess, but sometimes you just can't. It might come in unexpected. So there will be between each phase a crafting station, pack-a-punch machine, and so forth. They'll let you stock up and repair for the next phase. It's a really easy fight if you can just follow the mechanics. But here we're about to go into the fight now.
What do you mean they're back? No! Somehow those insects have passed your trials! They are worthy to challenge you, Kortifex. And you are not the Archon yet.
Which I should have refilled my armor before this fight. I forgot, but I'll be fine either way. I'm pretty good at this. I've defeated this guy plenty of times by now. Never in team mode yet. Still working towards that one. It's a little harder in team mode between solo mode and team mode. More bad guys, I'm sure, more orbs. As you can see, an orb just flew on me and about killed me. Sometimes you get lucky, but most of the time it's a wipe. You start up by shooting this right here, his third eye, going. And while paying attention to the orb that spawns in. And when the bad guys spawn in, this is why you need to shield the most. It wipes them pretty quick. And armor and stuff will drop from enemies as you go. Usually it's not an issue finding armor. And there's no time limit. Just take your time and don't rush. Try to avoid the orbs. Right, you can use any preferred special thing. I use Ring of Fire, sometimes healing Jura. But Ring of Fire will do the most damage. It does help out some. And having your perks up higher will help some too. I only increased my crit to 3 and my reload to 1 and sprint to 2 and health to max, and which is 4, and regeneration to 1. Ring of Fire can be difficult to do because this orb going around following you makes it hard to stay in one location for too long. And when he surprisingly throws in another one, to make it even better. Had a little bit of a rough start here. In the first phase, it's kind of hard to even have time to use the Ring of Fire much, but it's your moments where it's going to... And here he comes to ruin my day again. Didn't even get to use it. Sucks, which happens in the first phase. It's hard to use. You hardly have time. I mean, you don't, you'll really get like a, it'll be hard to rush through the first phase so easily. That's normal. That's how bad this area is to start out with. You gotta pay attention to that red orb a lot too. As you can see, it's getting closer and closer, and I hardly have much more time to even throw in another round. Keep running around shooting the forehead. The closer you are, the easier it is to kill him, but in this fight it can be a little hard to stay close at all times. Sometimes it's the best way to avoid a red orb. The best too. This is probably one of the slowest I've ever had trouble getting him. The first phase takes the longest, so the next two phases go pretty quick. But it's best to avoid death as much as possible. Pile up a little bit.
Crossbun! Another takes its place, like undead fascist termites. Did you not get enough love as a little Nazi?
Which I said, it's all normal to have, you know, not to get to throw much in much of a fire fight towards him, because on the first phase it can be a pain in the butt. The rest of the phases usually go easy. Right now I'm trying to avoid all these red orbs as much as possible, so I don't waste a life and waste salvage. This always seems like the best angle to shoot him from, too, but...
Another shattered skull to add to your throne, demon!
As you see from this angle, I can do a lot of damage. But most of the time, for me, that's where the orbs go. Or wound up most of the time. They're on this side of the map. Like they don't want me to. As you've seen the difference in both sides of the map, you'll see that is definitely the easiest and best side to be on when you're putting damage into the boss. And he's down. For the first phase, at least.
But he still has 2 eyes left.
Now you see these next two phases will go by pretty quick because he's up close. Depending on which weapon you choose will depend on how quick you can take him down too.
Kortifex will be back.
This is a fairly decent weapon though for it. As you can see, it's not too bad. It all matters about the angle of the side you're shooting on. I wanted to show how both sides of the map differ as far as that goes. And of course, loot drops, which I forgot about. Almost. But I wanted to show the difference on what the different sides of the first phase on different sides of the map, how difference it is on as far as putting damage into the boss. As you can see, the left side's way much easier to put damage in. And for this phase, you'll be picking up, destroying crystals and picking up shards and throwing them into these plants, which we didn't need in the first phase. But all the rest of the mechanics are the same, other than that. You don't throw a grenade just like I did. They'll still be... Get rid of these grenades, so they get me killed. And when you get when a blue thing pops out of one of the plants, what you'll do is you'll go to one of these things and throw it into the formation in the sky. And this will cause the boss to lower down, which you can do multiple at once and keep them in your inventory. And when he does, pick one of his eyes to shoot and start putting a lot of damage into it. Keeping eyes on the red orb in case it does happen to still be on the map. Most of the time it isn't there during this last 2 phases. So you can just damage the boss as much as possible. But since I got 1 blue shard still from the plant, I won't need to do the little plant phase right as of yet.
There are better ways to hold explosives.
Reload my weapon. He almost got me. And throw another blue shard at it. And we activate Ring of Fire. I chose to go for the left eye first this time. And he will regenerate health if you take too long. He won't wait for you. Of course, he can regenerate health back to all the way to full health, and they'll make you stay in this area longer. Just to give you some advice. So yeah, just don't think that his health will stop going, it'll stay where it's at the whole time. It will regenerate. You might get to see it at some point in this video if I take too long. I'm not going to do it on purpose. I usually tend to die, though, at least once. You usually get the surprise one on me. And just throw one and get it down on me somehow instantly. At some point. And here we are, another blue shard. Doesn't matter which formation you throw it at. And I got an extra for when I need it. You can see I barely had to do anything to go into that last eye. I didn't like much. Now we got 1 eye left. In between each fight, like I said, you'll get to, pick up more. Now I got 2 blue ones. That will make the next part of the fight go quicker. But it'll give you plenty of time to go back through, luckily, and do anything you need to do. If you need to refill stuff, you can just run back up here quickly, and plenty of time to get an extra life, use your salvage, whatever you need it for. Which there is a surprise at the end of this that you get that you won't get from the mystery box or anything that I've ever seen unless you beat the boss in the Archon's the only way you get it. I'm going to leave the surprise for the end of what you get. This is usually what causes the fight to take so long, is playing around with this guy. That should use the shield on. You can see he's refilling his health now. See, now you got a determination what this example of what happens when he refills his health. Even though this area is small, I like the second phase better, but this phase can be a pain in the butt because it's kind of stout. But still, for me, I don't have to keep doing the phases. That's what happens if you save the extra blue shards up. You don't have to keep doing the plant thing, and you got extra to keep on killing this boss as quick as possible. So the more shards you save up, I think you can hold about 3, maybe 4. I think the most. You save them up, it makes the fast fight go a lot quicker though. I wanted to show you the difference in the two.
Put us in a hell of a woodsman in a different light.
He's stealing my powers.
Get my next one ready. Should be only one more round I need to kill him. Alright, where are you, big guy?
Real regret singling yourself out.
And here we go, this should be the final round. I'm not really sure if Ring of Fire does much during the boss fight, but I like to use it just in case. It seems like it does a little bit more damage. And there we go, the boss is dead. And now you're going to see the surprise you get at the end of this. And here you go, here's your surprise, the Wonder Wall. The only way to attain is by beating Archon for its use in Archon and plus all the bonus points.
Can't eat this, but
And of course, you can stay in if you like, but I like to leave. I don't like to stay in here anymore and I have to. Well, I guess it does make you automatically leave. I thought you could stay in there. I usually leave immediately. Wouldn't be a good idea to. But now you've seen the boss fight, and now you see the rewards for completing the boss fight. I now get to use this weapon in this mode. This is the only way to get the Wonder Waff in this mode. I have never seen it drop from the mystery box, and I've played this a lot. Which I'm planning on exfilling because I plan on getting off, but now you can see how easy it is to beat the boss and how to do the mechanics. And they're very easy to do. You just gotta stick with a certain pattern, and if you do what I told you to in this video, you will succeed. It can be quite challenging the first time around, which I beat it the first time, but it was challenging, I will say that.
Typical Nazi greeting.
I did go down a few times the first few times I done it. I went down once, like every time I've done the fight. Just sometimes it happens. Sometimes it don't matter how good you are. You can't avoid the way the orbs fall on you and avoid dying when it hits you, because you never know where it's going to land. You just have to take your best guess, and I usually try to stay closer to the boss. It seems like most of the time you don't like get hit with it if you're closer to the boss when it happens, in my opinion. But again, this is a really easy fight. It's only hard if you make it out to be. Anyways, this is Punisher with Guardians of Galaxies. I hope you enjoyed the video, and follow me on Twitch if you like.